All right, welcome back, everybody. Now let's focus our attention on Greece. As the debt crisis in Greece rages on, two things are certain. One, Greece is running out of money, and very, very quickly. And two, that Greece and its people are in for a tough couple of years. Now, South Africa is known to have a prominent Greek diaspora, and joining us in studio this morning to talk about how the South African Greek community feels about the situation is Taso Christoforou, who is a member of the Federation of Hellenic Communities and Societies in South Africa. It's good to have you, Taso. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program.
Good morning, Len. Nice to be here.
I mean, looking at what's happening in Greece, I can imagine for the Greek community living here in South Africa, because there is, as far as I know, no Greek that doesn't have ties to Greece still. How does it feel watching from here?
Devastating. It's a horrible scene. It's not nice to be looking at the scene here. And we're not comfortable about it. And I think most of the Greeks in South Africa would have liked to see the yes vote come in.
Yeah.
I think it was the wrong move with the Tsipras government. And we're going to pay the price. I think we're going to pay the price now.
Yeah. Why do you think they voted no, and overwhelmingly so?
I think most of the Greek population there, most of them didn't know what they were voting, personally. Secondly is, I think the frustration got to the Greek people. You know, when you take a loan, the government took the loans, passed it on to the banks, then you pass it over to the public. You cut your pensions, no job creation. And then the people got fed up. It was over. I mean, I travel to Greece nearly every 3 months, and I've had a lot of discussion with them. You borrow money and you don't do job creations, you don't get investments into your country. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's a balloon that was just blowing up, somewhere it's going to burst. People were just, there was no work. Youngsters and young people just moving out of Greece, the brain drain that was going on, it was enormous. So somewhere it was going to burst. Tsipras' government came in without the time of elections. He came in by default. He came in by an election of a state president that was supposed to be elected. And that's where he came in.
Yeah.
Greece was on the way to the right move. It was showing growth. And that's where he pressed on the button where the Greek people had enough, and they're thinking by voting the no and closing the banks also was a wrong move.
Yeah. If we look back, do you believe that when Greece actually joined the European Union, things started to go wrong, or was it way before this?
A long time way back. You know, Greece's problems didn't start when they joined the Union. Greece's problems started long before that. Greece was top-heavy from long before. Greece.
You say top-heavy. Let's go into that. What do you mean by top-heavy?
Well, Greece's population, if you look at it, was close to over just 9 million. And if you look at the majority of the Greek population, was government employees. They were never in the privatization sector.
Right.
Everyone worked for the government. If you had to vote for the PASOK government or for the Nea Demokratia, you worked for the government. And when they joined the European Union, the one thing was that either to privatize or cut the people working for the government, which none of the governments did. And when they start borrowing the money, the European Union said, cut your expenses. None of those two governments did. And this is what happened.
Yeah.
They borrowed the money and they they followed the procedures. And this is what we're paying now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I suppose the ties between the Hellenic community here in South Africa and the Greek community living in Greece, there's obviously a lot of business dealings that are happening as well. How's it affecting the community here? Well,
it's affecting because a lot of people here have got relatives there. They've got, if you take for my mother stays she's stuck.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of old people are stuck there. I mean, you don't know if they're going to get their pensions tomorrow. I mean, I just spoke to some telephonic calls yesterday, and I heard they're going to get humanitarian aid last night of about 6 billion. That's to pay the 1.7 billion debt. They're going to pay the pensioners for this month, but the banks will be closed. And I can tell you now, the banks will not open this week nor next week.
Because there is no money.
Well, they won't give the money.
Yeah.
How do you know? If the banks have to open tomorrow, can you imagine what's going to happen?
I mean, there'll be an absolute run on the banks if they have
If you had money in the bank, everybody will go pull it out. the confidence is gone now.
Yeah. I mean, where to from here, in your opinion? I mean, you've had dealings with the Greek government. You travel there all the time. What do you think should happen?
I think Mr. Tsipras must go down and put his pride in his pocket and structure a deal for the benefit of all Greece and Greeks. And let it take us another 5 years to build Greece.
Yeah.
There is no other solution. We owe the money, we have to pay back the money. There is no other alternative. So we have to fight hard and work hard. There is no other way. And bring Greece back alive.
Yeah. I mean, still travelling to Greece, I mean, because this is a big time, and I'm going to wrap the interview now, I know, but this is a massive time over the summer season for tourism, for everybody travelling to Greece. You cannot get a flight to Greece at this time. Is it still the same? Are we finding Greek South Africans still travelling there for the holidays?
Well, to travel, you can travel, but you've got to take, obviously, your own cash.
Your own cash.
And that's another thing that also the European Union did. I mean, they squeeze you to the airline's gone. If you look at the Italians, the Greeks, the Portuguese, look at the European Union, what they did. They cut the airlines. There's no airline for the Italians, no airline for the Greeks, the Portuguese. Look at South African. That community here have got no direct flights.
Yeah.
Where are those flights? You've got to via everywhere to go to your own country. So that economy, they survive on tourism.
Yeah.
So we need to get that tourism going again. We have to. Today you can buy property in Greece cheaper than you can buy in Durban beachfront.
Sure. All right, Taso Christoforou, President of the Federation of the Hellenic Communities and Societies of South Africa. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. We'll keep up with you and see how things keep unfolding in Greece there. And of course, they've got now until Sunday to offer another solution to the European Union. Let's take a break. When we return, we've been